Civil War. So, how did the Civil War start? Picture America in the mid 1800s. Half of the country's booming with factories and railroads, the other half runs on plantations and slave labor. The two sides, the North and the South, have been arguing for decades about how the country should work, especially over slavery. The North wanted to stop it from spreading into new states. The South said slavery was essential to their economy and way of life. Both sides were convinced the other was trying to destroy the country. And in a way, they were both right. Then, in 1860, Daddy Abe, aka Abraham Lincoln, got elected president. He wasn't even on the ballot of most southern states, and they saw his win as a disaster. Before he could even move into the White House, 7 southern states said, "You know what? We're out." They formed their own country, the Confederate States of America, with Jefferson Davis as president. The United States split into two. In April 1861, Confederate troops fired on Fort Sumter in South Carolina. That was it, the official start of the Civil War. At first, everyone thought it'd be quick. The North figured they'd squash the rebellion in a few months. The South thought they proved they could fight and force the North to back off. Both were wrong. Very wrong. The year of the war dragged on for 4 brutal years, with bloody battles like Bull Run, Antietam, Gettysburg, and Shiloh. Soldiers fought in muddy fields, cities burned, and towns became graveyards. What am I doing? The players. The Union, aka the North, was led by Daddy Abe and generals like William Tecumseh Sherman and Ulysses S. Grant. I really hope I said that right. They had more people, more factories, and more railroads, which is a huge advantage. The Confederacy, aka the South, was led by Jefferson Davis and General Robert E. Lee, a brilliant tactician. They were outnumbered, but fought fiercely, hoping to wear the North down or get help from Britain or France, which never really happened. Freedom in the middle of the war. By 1863, the war wasn't just about saving the Union anymore. It was about ending slavery. Lincoln, aka Daddy Abe, which is what I love to call him, Daddy Abe, issued the Emancipation Proclamation, declaring that enslaved people in the Confederate States were free. It didn't free everyone immediately, since the Confederacy didn't exactly listen to Daddy Abe, but it changed the meaning of the war. The fight became about human freedom as much as about politics. And for the first time, black soldiers joined the Union. Oh my goodness. That is like the 15th time I've messed that up. Union Army! Union Army! Fighting for their own liberation and proving their own courage again and again. The turning point, which is the Battle of Gettysburg in 1863, was a major shift. Lee's invasion of the North failed, and thousands died on both sides. Daddy Abe later gave the Gettysburg Address a short but powerful speech about why the war mattered. That a nation conceived in liberty and had to prove it survived. From then on, the South was on the defensive. Grant's relentless campaigns, oh my goodness, what can I read? Campaigns crushed Confederate armies, while Sherman's march to the sea tore through Georgia, destroying supplies and breaking the South's will to fight. The end, finally, by April 1865, the Confederacy was falling apart. Lee's army was surrounded, starving, and out of options. On April 9th, 1865, Lee surrendered to Grant at Appomattox Courthouse. Appomattox. Whatever, courthouse. The war was over. But just days later, tragedy struck. Daddy Abe was assassinated by John Wilkes Booth while attending a play. The president who held the Union together didn't live to see the country rebuilt. The Civil War left America scarred. More than 600,000 people died. Cities ruined and families torn apart. Slavery was abolished for good thanks to the 13th Amendment, but freedom didn't mean equality. The years that followed, known as Reconstruction, were messy, violent, and full of broken promises. The South had to rebuild its comedy and identity. The North had to figure out how to reunite with the people it had just fought. The wounds of the war Lorax. Lore. Oh my gosh. I'm about to make a whole lore on my OC's cousin, and it's just amazing. But I need to post it sometime soon because I'm super late on this one project. It's making my videos go short. So yeah. Anyways, off topic. The wounds of the lore again. The wounds of that war, not lore, not the Lorax, the war would shape American politics, culture, and race relations for generations. Apparently, which is like what we learn, apparently that when you build a country on freedom and equality but allow slavery to exist, the contradiction will eventually explode. That leadership, courage, and conviction could hold a nation together but at terrible cost. And that progress is never a straight line. It's a fight that keeps resurfacing in new forms. So, in short, the Civil War was America's darkest chapter. Chapter? Oh my goodness, what am I saying? Chapter? Chapter. Brother against brother. Freedom against oppression. Unity against division. It was brutal, tragic, and transformative. If history was a movie, this would be the gritty drama where everyone loses something, but the world changes anyway. A war, not lore, a war that tore the nation apart and painfully forced it to become what it always was supposed to be.